The phrase when teams have to win or go home when they're competing for a playoff spot or in the playoffs, well, it's kind of like that, but not really. In this case, could it be win or get fired if you're Chicago Bears head coach Matt Eberflus? That's what we're talking about here on Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. If the Bears lose on Thursday Night Football to the Washington Commanders, I think there's a very real chance that Chicago could move on from their head coach. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Peter King, a longtime NFL insider, been with NBC Sports the past few years, had this to say on 670 The Score in Chicago on Tuesday. He said, quote, I would not be surprised if it is a bad loss Thursday, and if the Bears make a change, it wouldn't be surprising. In a lot of ways, this feels like Flus's last stand. And even if they don't fire him after this loss, you got to wonder if, like, in the building, it's like, okay, we might just run out the year with him, but we're going to start evaluating our future head coach. Like, there's just so many reasons for this to be it. Like, to me, I would have fired him already, but I get it on a short week. It's hard to do that. You lose this game, there's no justifiable reason to keep him. It would be 10 days until your next game, so you have a lot of time to figure out the interim head coaching situation. Stay tuned. We'll explore who some interim candidates could be. It would be Matt Eberflus's 15th straight loss as this team's head coach, which is just mind-boggling when you really think about it. And, of course, it would be an 0-5 start to the 2023 season, which was a campaign in which fans were excited about, and you at least thought you were going to be a competitive football team. Maybe not a playoff team, but a team that there was some hope that maybe they could compete and get a playoff spot potentially. Definitely not 0-5 is what nobody was expecting. To me, 15 straight losses equals fired. Like, what is your defense if you're Matt Eberflus? You lose on Thursday night, Friday morning, you have a meeting with Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles. Hey, Matt, give us a reason why we should keep you. Okay, there's the door. I guess I should just walk out. 3-19 as a head coach at that point. 15 straight losses. What's his defense? His defense sucks. He's a defensive-minded head coach. So this feels like his last stand. It may not even be salvageable to begin with, but you lose this game. I don't know if there's any coming back from it if you're Matt Eberflus. What do you think, though? Do you think the Bears will actually do it? Not what you want to happen, what you think will happen. If the Bears lose on Thursday Night Football, do you believe the Bears will have the balls to fire Matt Eberflus? Type F for fire or K for they will keep him. YouTube ad break coming up. Answer this question, and afterward, we'll dive deeper into why they may or may not actually pull the trigger. Remember one thing, Bears fans. Chicago has never fired a coach in the middle of the season. They've never done it. That being said, there's no reason, for the reasons I just pointed out, to keep Matt Eberflus. Horrible defense, horrible record, 15 straight losses. It will be over 350 days since a win before you play your next game, and you got 10 days to prepare for another game, so you could do it right now. Like, you've got time to figure out an interim situation. And there's a wild card this time around that has not been around in the past. His name is Kevin Warren. Ted Phillips, he's out of here. Kevin Warren, you got to wonder what he's thinking right now. We don't know what he's thinking right now. Is he willing to make a big move like this to fire a head coach 5 games into his presidency tenure? It's got to be on the table, if you ask me. If you're Kevin Warren, you cannot like what you've seen so far. I mean, seriously, and it'd be one thing if it was just on the field, if the product on the field, which is the most important, let's be clear, when evaluating a head coach, it'd be one thing if it's just the product on the field, and that's a big part of it. But think about the first month for the Chicago Bears for this season. What's just happened in the past month? You got blown out at home against your arch rivals in week 1 with tons of hype and anticipation going into that game. You weren't even in the game. You got blasted by the Green Bay Packers, FGB in the comments. Number 2, Alan Williams' suspicious resignation, where we still don't know completely what happened there. We know that Bears PR had to get involved and there was inappropriate conduct that took place, but all kinds of rumors were flying around that situation. You've got that going on. 2 weeks into the season, or not even fully 2 weeks, your defensive coordinator is out of the picture. You blow a 21-point lead to the Denver Broncos, who, by the way, are a terrible football team, at home with basically just a quarter left to play. Chase Claypool, it's such a debacle with him. He's away from the team, is now going to get traded or cut, a guy who traded a second-round pick for. And then Matt Eberflus's mishandling of the Claypool situation with the miscommunication with the media. This is embarrassing stuff, guys. For this to all occur in a 1-month time frame is absolutely ridiculous. This is the NFL. This is professional sports. Millions of dollars are going to players and coaches and front office members. This type of behavior should not happen, regardless of the on-field product, which is also embarrassing, by the way. For that to happen in the first 4 weeks of the season, it's unbelievable. So again, if you're Kevin Warren and you watch another loss go by, what are you waiting for? Like, what is convincing you that maybe Matt Eberflus can turn it around at that point? There's just no way you could possibly think that way. Coming up in just a few moments, who is the interim head coach for the Bears if they do fire Matt Eberflus? I think 3 candidates really stand out to me. But first, let's talk about our sponsor on today's show. That is Rocket Money. This blew my mind when I read this statistic. But did you know that over 80% of people have subscriptions that they have forgotten about? Seriously. Think of how many free trials you've subscribed to that you've probably never canceled. That's why I'm such a big fan of Rocket Money, a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills all in one place. Most people think they're spending roughly $80 per month on subscriptions, when in reality that number is closer to $200. When you're signed up for so many things like streaming services you used to watch one show for, or free trials for delivery you don't use anymore, it's so easy to lose track of what you're paying for. Rocket Money shows you all of your subscriptions on one screen and gives you the option to cancel them very quickly and very easily. So stop wasting money on things you don't use, cancel your unwanted subscriptions, and manage your money the easy way. That's with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/bears now to download the app today. That is rocketmoney.com/bears now. Start saving money with Rocket Money. rocketmoney.com/bears now. That link is in the comments and description of this video. Okay, let's explore what happens if you fire Matt Eberflus. Who would take over? Because obviously, look, you do have to name an interim head coach, and there's game planning, and there'd be 12 games left, so there are things you have to do. Now, my first thought is, who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? Because I've had conversations here at Chat Sports because I've just been getting dunked on for how bad the Bears are, and they're like, but who takes over? You already lost your defensive coordinator. Your head coach calls the defense now. It's like, who cares? Jeff Saturday got called off the couch last year and finished the season with the Colts. You can figure it out. Like, you're not making that move to try and salvage this season. You're making that move because he's clearly not the answer, and you might as well get a head start on who your next head coach is going to be. That is my initial thought. But when you get back to practicality and you're like, okay, someone does have to guide us through the rest of the season, I think these 3 names really stand out. Richard Hightower, your special teams coordinator. He really impresses me when he talks to the media. There's no BS. There's no dancing around questions, which Flus is an expert at. He sounds like a leader of men. Now, is he a guy that I think could be a long-term head coach for the Bears? No, and I don't think any of these guys could be, but I would look at Richard Hightower as a candidate. I'm not high on Luke Getsy. I don't like Luke Getsy that much, but if you just wanted to give him a chance, a coach that in the league is viewed as a young up-and-comer, sure, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't love the idea, but at the same time, he's your offensive coordinator. You will have already lost your defensive coordinator and your head coach at that point, so I could understand if you went that route. And then John Hoke, who's the Cornerbacks coach and defensive passing game coordinator, has been with the Bears on multiple stints now. He's a veteran coach in this league, a guy that can wear the main headset on the sideline and be a CEO for 12 games. I think he could absolutely handle that role perfectly fine. I would go Hightower or Hoke. I think they could both be that CEO type. Luke Getsy is already frazzled just being the play caller. Imagine handing head coaching duties to him as well. I would not go that route, but I do think he would be a name in the mix. I would go Hightower or Hoke, but we'll see. Maybe someone else, Dave Borgonzi, could be somebody that does it, but I would go Richard Hightower or John Hoke. But what say you? Who would you make the Bears interim coach? I thought about going outside the box, like bring in Lovie Smith, Pat Fitzgerald to finish the season. I just don't think that's that realistic, if you're being honest, to bring in an outside voice. I know the Colts did it with Jeff Saturday, but it's not like that worked out well. So I think you just promote somebody from within and you piece your way through the final 12 games of the season. Let me know what you guys think. Now, obviously, for Matt Eberflus, he really needs to win this game on Thursday Night Football. Myself and producer Rolly will be live on the channel, 6 o'clock Central Time on Thursday night as the Bears hit the road to take on the Commanders in what could be Matt Eberflus's last stand. The Commanders are 6.5-point favorites. The over-under between these two teams is 44.5 points. So be sure to subscribe and join us. We will be live for that one. All right, so again, you're Matt Eberflus. You got to find a way to win here. So here's 3 ways that the Bears can win this, or 3 things they need to do to win this game. Number 1, keep running the football, and I think Khalil Herbert in particular. I'd like to see a little bit more of Roschon Johnson, but I like the way Herbert ran against Denver. He does deserve to continue to be that lead back. You just got to feed him more. 18 carries, 103 yards, average of almost 6 yards per carry. I mean, he was wearing the Broncos defense out. Continue to run the football with him. I think that's going to be a good recipe for success. Number 2, believe in your quarterback. The Bears did this for most of the game against Denver, and it worked out tremendously. And then they just didn't. I mean, Fields played awesome against Denver. I know he hit the late pick on the miscommunication. He gets blasted, and it's a scoop and score pick 6. I get all that stuff, but early on, you were playing to his strengths. He was feeling himself. He was playing awesome, and then it just all went super conservative, whether that's Getsy or Fields combination. I thought they got way too conservative. And that does not mean you can't run the football. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you do throw the football, you don't have to it doesn't have to be this nervous, jittery play calling stuff. And some of this is probably Fields too, to be completely fair. Believe in your quarterback if you're Luke Getsy. Believe in yourself if you're Justin Fields. Even if it doesn't work out, what do you have to lose? You're an 0-4 football team. Let him rip it and grip it for 4 quarters. And then number 3, and this is something Matt Eberflus can really control, blitz Sam Howell. And by the way, blitz, insert quarterback you're playing, because you can't get to the quarterback with 4. Sam Howell is still a young quarterback, learning his way. He's played some good football. 4 of his 5 picks were in one game, so in the other 3 games, he's actually played pretty well. But you get pressure on him, he's a young player. He's going to get a little bit rattled. Here's the problem. The Bears don't generate pressure. So you know what you got to do? You got to blitz more. 2 sacks in 4 games is embarrassing. This is a defense that does not like to blitz. You got to change it, man. This might be your last game as the head coach here. Don't you want to go out swinging if you're Matt Eberflus? Bring pressure early and often. Play man coverage. Take your chances, man. Go get after Sam Howell. So who you got? Who wins on Thursday Night Football? Type CHI for the Chicago Bears. Type WAS for the Washington Commanders. Get your votes in. Let us know who wins on Thursday night. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's youtube.com/Bears. Now, my name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys later with more coverage.